Day breaks, the shell of a hang, tossed aside. Blue sky screeches his complaint, undone work.
Our decided old wizard nodding off on star XJ 9,003,473,012, the sun, hardly fears fumbling his charge. His regional manager's only pop-in visit was pretty Pleistocene. New world, eh? Great. Yeah, well then see you in a few billion.
And like every other bad boy who grew up and quit thinking between his legs, trying to impress the girl with acts of daring and stupidity, you found the girl to be the devil herself, not wanting a real man with real dreams and a real faith and real man codes and ethics to live by. Things you learn.
I like that one. You'll love this one. It's called Happy Birthday. Love doesn't get sick. It just dies. It survived by newborns, mourned by mothers, buried by fathers, and each try their luck at something much the size of love, but unfailingly dissimilar.
That fucking scene in Blair Witch freaked me out. Little babies running around the fucking woods at night. Sorry. Movies make their way into my bones. In which monkey boy attempts to go toe-to-toe with the master round one. One! The only thing in the world sad. Goddamn whiskey just hit me right there. The only thing in the world sadder than a train broke down in the rain is a giant jungle bird made of rainbows, trapped in a cage only twice its size, slowly but surely. Don't fool yourselves, tearing away its feathers and flesh in order to free its mind.
I have come to burn your house down. It's nothing too personal. Remember to think of it as a rite of passage, the way your eyes water, the sound of timbers crackling a mad symphony, the gorgeous precipitation that drapes your mother made, sifting down the evening, makes you human. I come with petroleum, propane, styrofoam, assorted flints and striking instruments attached to my belt, all huffing, asthmatic.
But after the purchase of the brand new station wagon, my mom and dad purchased army helmets from a local army surplus store in KCK, probably Mickey's. They made my 5 older brothers and sisters wear them the entire time the car was in motion in the small town where I grew up. The car won't move until everyone is wearing their army helmet. Freaks. I'm not kidding.
Instead, pretty much broke imagining the horrors of another evening spent watching Metalocalypse DVDs in a stifling room. Both of us finish our respective 12-packs, and the time has come for a smoke. 50 feet away from this hive-like utilitarian housing, this is what we will tell the Department of Defense officials. It's the right distance, sir. Smack dab on the side of the basketball courts. Hell, I can't even imagine a drunken grunt can manage to cause fire damage to concrete.
Come, leave all your sadness underneath my window. I promise I will heal you. Come, let your footsteps trail to my door. I promise I will wait up. For you and I have suffered much. Still, I do not know the meaning of enough.
If you are at all sensitive, you can feel the rich ore of poetry flowing through the air like pleasant scents in a garden of intellect. Merely sitting still, you become excited as images and metaphor dance inside of you simply because you are near. You're sitting in a slung, low folding chair. A can of cheap beer in your hand as the poets stand one by one, sharpening their swords against each other. The unseen dance between the spirit muses must be a beautiful one, for the heart is comforted by an inward sense of alcohol the inspired poetic satori.
It hangs, thrumming still at the turning, a catch of breath, unnerving gypsy circling and circling, pent up and panther dark. Look to your purse. Eyes, hungry, crave each melody's climb, wary of rousing bow and the stretch and fetch of arm and elbow. Stocking and lean, a leg unfolds, anticipates each sinte phrase. And a solitary stool, a sitter can't turn away, avert the castrati's gaze, fascinated by the distance that hangs between these notes.
Pan-fried School of Physics, battered, with one eye staring up at me, a single black pupil opened wide as if to draw me in. The flounder's recent world caught me, where bubbles, disarray, and chaos wrangled by hook and fear. He let me look deeper. Let me feel the many flowing minds linked in their mystery dance, interconnected in movement, grace, and beauty. Suddenly, my iron hand heated and sizzled, and I returned to my fishy business.
A Nazi armband appears in the laundromat. On first seeing the armband, neatly pressed, laying next to a stack of folded white socks, the kind with the gray at the toes and heel, I was astonished that the owner had managed to prevent the bright red from bleeding on the other whites. The seemingly brand new briefs, the sleeveless undershirts, the silk handkerchief, a pair of diplomat's gloves. Had he washed them separately? The armband alone, then the whites, or vice versa? Yes, armbands must be washed separately, else they politicize the other laundry.
Great.
And then crowd.
Good night.
Words etched in Sanskrit appear at twilight, where my feet touch the ground. Om Shanti Om, Om Shanti Om. Across my path lies a whispering snake. I hear it amidst her slumber. Kundalini, Kundalini awaken. A flash of heat arises within me as the question is asked, then answered. Bliss, Om Shanti Om, Om Shanti Om.
Disturbing tendencies, unwanted codependencies, racing thoughts, creating intersecting stories, lacking plots. 3 sheets to the wind, praying for the end. Mistake after mistake. I've had all I can take. I'm an irresponsible fool, unavoidably uncool. Lacking motivation to work for validation of a respectable identity. People look through me. I filter the stares, understanding the fact that nobody cares. Less than zero. Don't know how to act. It's just a thought.
After the trench, I couldn't touch them. Blunted bayonets and young rotting chests lay piled on the chaise lounge. A gangrene foot on my tea tray, disconcerting callers. After the fields of Flanders, poppies grew. Straw hats cheered and pinwheels turned. Sundays paraded under band shells. A mute swell of ticker tape fell on dumb heroes. He's 1 foot over the sea in sewage, straddling where consciousness divides. Farther than Bruegel's fields or poppies, under which, I confess, I would rather that he lie.
It all began with a goat. It was my neighbor's goat, and it stared at me with its goat eyes. Now, I have never been a believer of goats. They are notorious liars, swindlers, and thieves, but this goat was different. This goat was special. I had to take action. I got my papers together and went to town. I stood in line at the mayor's house and waited my turn. The people in the office nodded when I told them why I was there. Yes, the goat, they seemed to say. Of course. It won't be long now, I thought. I felt important there at the mayor's house.
Here's a good one. It is entitled, Good Morning, Halitosis. An apology for fucking your mom.
And to think they haven't made a sequel either. Something like To Kill the Little Red Hen. Remember her? Like the Mockingbird, she made a real contribution to society by making her cake. But to be honest, I don't think it would produce the same effect, because To Kill a Mockingbird was about huge things in society, and Little Red Hen was about how losers and hangers-on won't even help you make a cake, a much smaller issue.
Imagine Nick and Nora sitting on a deck, 2 bottles of wine behind them. They no longer understand or care from where the other is coming. Why, asks Nora with a desperate laugh, am I standing here with you? Because, replies Nick, I've stopped dating geniuses.
We have a couple other faces in here. Does anybody else need to read? Haven't read? All right, so thank you so very much. There's still beverages in back.
Seven broadcast waves reminding us how the greatest good is the acquisition of material things. And if you want one of the good, then you better obey. Capricious dogma, yeah, you